The Tantra of Caṇḍamahāroṣaṇa, translated by the Dharmachakra Translation Committee under the patronage and supervision of 84,000, translating the words of the Buddha, and read by Angus Cargill. Chapter 13. Conduct. The goddess then said, "What conduct should be followed by a yogin? Tell me, O Lord. And what practice ought to be done? By what means is accomplishment speedily attained?" The Lord said, "Killed should be the evil ones, those who disparage the Buddha's teaching. Having seized their wealth, one should perform the benefit of beings. All widows should indeed be attended upon. Female ascetics, one's mother or daughter. One should consume fish and meat, and drink wine in a state of mental equilibrium. Using deception, one devoted to concentration should keep one's own and others' offences secret. One free from dualistic mental constructs will succeed by applying this secret discipline. By whatever wickedness beings go to lower states of existence, by the very same wickedness, a yogin quickly attains success." The goddess Hatred Vajri then asked the Lord, "How, O Lord, would you explain the inverted conduct?" The Lord then said, "By passion, passion is killed. A conflagration is killed by fire. One should destroy poison with poison, applying the instructions. Contemplating the world to be devoid of independent existence, cultivating the thought, 'I am an accomplished one,' one should keep all one's practice very secret, so that nobody knows. Having extinguished all one's negativity, one succeeds by means of the inverted conduct alone. A yogin solely devoted to yoga, who does not keep it secret, will not have success in this inverted conduct. There is neither evil nor virtue, since both are by nature devoid of independent existence. In order to destroy the wickedness of the world, I have not disclosed this earlier. Only now do I teach it in truth, in the form of Caṇḍamahāroṣaṇa, O beloved. In order to induct beings into the ranks of yogins, a cause serving the purpose of all beings, I will now explain the conduct that is for all to see. Listen now, O beloved. One should not kill living beings or take another's property. One should never steal another's wife or speak untruthful words. For the sake of abandoning the vices of the world, a wise one should never drink wine. It is with decorum that one should take up this public level of training. That which has just been taught is the outward conduct. Now, however, the secret practice will be taught. One should place a diadem on one's head and a pair of earrings on one's ears. Having prepared different adornments, one should wear them on one's body. Anklets should be placed around one's ankles, and likewise a girdle around one's waist. In one's right hand, one should hold a sword. In the left, a noose. On the head, a crown seal should be placed, representing the 5 Buddhas. One should attach to one's head the 5 strips of colored cloth and shave off one's hair and beard. One should procure a girl who is older than 10 years and embark upon one's practice. One should prepare this girl according to the previously explained division of families. One should always bedeck her with adornments suitable for a girl. One should place in her right hand a Khatri knife, and in the left a skull cap. A paramour of select category should arrange such requisites on his partner's body according to the division of families. One should take a wisdom consort from one's own spiritual family, or any other spiritual family, keeping a focused mind. One should collect the objects of worship as one wishes, and commence the practice itself. In the absence of jewels and the like, one should make do with other precious things. Alternatively, One should create things mentally if they cannot be physically obtained. One should practice the 5 pledges according to the 5-fold family division. Using the method as previously described, one should make love with both lovers taking part. The yogin will succeed in every way. There should be no doubt about this. After the union of the wisdom and the means, one should scratch her and inscribe the 3 syllables. One should give kisses and embraces, as well as all of one's semen. The perfection of giving becomes thus fulfilled, there is no doubt. One's body, speech and mind wholly engaged and controlled in concordance with one's intense pleasure. This should be known as the perfection of discipline. The nail wound patiently endured, the suffering of the inscribed 3 syllables, this alone is the perfection of patience. With reverence and for a long time should one make love with a focused mind. This should be known as the perfection of diligence, because of engaging one's mind in the pleasure of it. As this is the reality of everything, it is regarded as the perfection of concentration. Meditating on a woman's form, this is proclaimed to be the perfection of wisdom. Merely by this single method of exquisite pleasure, the 6 perfections become fulfilled. If the 5 perfections are merit, the knowledge is wisdom, so it is said. When united in the union of exquisite bliss, the yogin has completed the 2 accumulations already. One who is endowed with merit and wisdom will succeed in an instant, just like a fruit growing on a creeper is endowed with a flower. A full awakening will happen within a moment with the 2 accumulations already completed. One becomes master of the 13 stages. There is no doubt. The stages should be known as joyful, pure, beacon of light, resplendent, invincible, facing directly, going far, immovable. Auspicious intelligence, cloud of Dharma, all luminous, matchless, possessed of wisdom, these are the 13 names. This concludes the chapter on practice, the 13th in the glorious Tantra of Caṇḍamahāroṣaṇa, called The Soul Hero. Chapter 14. The name Akala. Then in that gathering, a Vajra yogin called Samantabhadra said this to the Blessed One. May I ask, O Lord, why do we use the names Akala, immovable, as well as Ekalavira, soul hero, and Caṇḍamahāroṣaṇa, great, fierce, angry one? The Blessed One replied, because of the union of wisdom and skillful means, it is immovable and by nature blissful. It is the wisdom and the skillful means itself, and therefore cannot be swayed by dispassion. For this very reason it is called Akala. One with the nature of Vajrasattva, 2-armed and single-faced, tranquil, pellucid, of invincible mind, holding a sword and a noose in his 2 hands, supremely devoted to embracing the wisdom, sitting in sattva pariyanka posture, on top of a lotus, a moon, and a sun. He will remain until the end of samsara, abiding happily in divine bliss. It is for this reason that he is called Akala, and is worshipped by all the Buddhas. Cultivating themselves just as this Akala, all the victorious ones of the 3 times enact verily the benefit of beings, until all is destroyed by the final deluge. Samantabhadra then said, what is expressed by the syllable A, what by the syllable Ka, and what by the syllable La? Of what are they an abridgment? The Blessed One said, by the syllable A is expressed the unfabricated innate nature. The syllable Ka expresses joy, supreme joy, the joy of cessation, and innate joy. This syllable expresses the nature of the thus named four joys. The la expresses the playfulness of a wanton woman, the exquisite pleasure of love-making. The syllable a expresses wisdom. The syllable ka expresses means. The syllable la, because of its indicating pleasure, expresses the union of wisdom and means. He himself is the sole hero, one and alone. Because he destroys dispassion, he is a hero called ekala, alone. Caṇḍa means that he is exceedingly fierce, known as Mahāroṣaṇa, great angry one. Roṣaṇa should be understood as angry, the one who crushes all the maras. Strong dispassion indeed goes by the name Caṇḍa, fierce one, because it destroys affection and so forth. Roṣaṇa is angry at him, at this enemy, dispassion, difficult to tame, focused in absorption, controlling the Brahmanical cord with one's left ankle, with fangs showing between the lips, angry. One should destroy dispassion. By means of the above mudra, the yogin, tightly embracing the wisdom, will attain the accomplishment of Buddha, having completely destroyed dispassion. This concludes the chapter on how to construe the name Akala, the 14th in the glorious Caṇḍamahāroṣaṇa Tantra, called the Soul Hero. Chapter 15. Purities. Then the Blessed Lady Delusionvajri said, "How can Soul Hero be actualized? Tell me, O Supreme Lord." The Lord then said, starting from the syllable a, one should instantly visualize black akala. Then, merely by the power of stability, the yogin will certainly become a Buddha. One should meditate on white akala, or the yellow one, or the red one, embraced by hatred vajri and so forth. One should visualize him alone, assuming him to be the central figure among the 5 akalas. The wisdom should belong to his spiritual family, or alternatively, one should visualize her as being from another spiritual family. By this method, the yogin will swiftly attain success, there is no doubt. Or else one should visualize him with a focused mind, without the wisdom consort. When the power of this meditation manifests in full, one will obtain the kingdom of awakening. Then the Blessed Lady said, "Concerning the purities of the deity's domain, I would like to hear about it, O guide. Also the purities of the previously described mandalas. Please tell me about them, O Lord." The Lord then said, "I will now explain about the purities that purify everything. On that topic, the 4 corners are the 4 immeasurable states. The 4 doors are the 4 truths. The 4 gateways are the 4 concentrations. The 8 pillars are the Noble Eightfold Path. The single chamber is the one-pointedness of mind. The lotus is the vulva. Its various colors are the various emanations. The 9 deities are the 9 sections of Scripture. The redness in the cardinal directions is the great affection. The colors yellow, dark green, white, and black in the intermediary directions are the priestly, merchant, warrior, and peasant castes. The moon and the sun are semen and menstrual blood. The sword in the center is the emblem of black akala. The knives and double vajras in the cardinal directions represent their respective deities, starting with white akala in the east. In the intermediate directions, they represent their respective goddesses, starting with Delusionvajri in the southeast. These are the purities of the mandala. Now the purities of meditation are described. First, the worship with offerings, which is the accumulation of merit, is the pure aspect of action. Emptiness, which is the accumulation of wisdom, is an apotheosis of death. The luminous body represents the body of the intermediate state. The full extent of the temple palace represents the Buddha's abode. The lotus represents the vulva. The moon and the sun represent semen and menstrual blood. The syllable hum is the consciousness in the intermediate state, in between the mother and the father. Akshobhya is the father. Mamaki is the mother. Seeing their mutual passion, one feels aversion for the father and attraction for the mother. Because of delusion, one enters as the consciousness of a new being. One emerges from the womb as a newborn. One kills the father in order to take his place, and seizes the mother because of motherly love received in one's former births, and also for the sake of exquisite pleasure. One, too, begets sons and daughters who are, respectively, Vaitakala, Delusion Vajri, and so forth. The sons, for their part, are patricides, wholly intent on fornication, and nothing but enemies. One should therefore kill them. As for the daughters, one should make love to them because of motherly love received in one's former births, and also for the sake of exquisite pleasure. The sword is wisdom, and the noose is skillful means. Or the noose is wisdom, and the sword is skillful means. Their both being of the same essence is represented by the threatening gesture. The left downward glance signifies protecting the 7 underground paradises. The right upward glance signifies protecting the 7 egg of Brahma worlds. The left knee resting on the ground signifies protecting the earth. The right foot thrust forward signifies frightening all the maras. Brahma is the Mara of the aggregates. Shiva is the Mara of the afflictions. Vishnu is the Mara of death. And Chakra is the Mara of the divine sun. Every mortal girl represents earth. A young man represents enjoyment. The lotus seat signifies lasting for a long time. The sun and moon seat signifies being conceived in the womb. The male form born from sperm and menstrual blood is existence, whereas the female form is non-existence. Blue akala is consciousness, white is form, yellow is sensation, red is perception, and green is formation. Alternatively, blue akala is space, white is water, yellow is earth, red is fire, and green is wind. As for the Blessed Lords, so too it is for the Blessed Ladies. Alternatively, blue akala is the very pure wisdom of the sphere of phenomena. White is the mirror-like wisdom, yellow is the wisdom of equality, red is the wisdom of discrimination, and green is the action-accomplishing wisdom. There is only one victorious teacher abiding in 5 forms. Prajna Paramita too is one, abiding in 5 forms. This concludes the chapter on purities, 15th in the glorious Tantra of Caṇḍamahāroṣaṇa, called The Soul Hero. Chapter 16. Dependent Origination. Then the Blessed Lady said, "How does the world come into being? How does it meet its end? How does accomplishment come about? Tell me, O Supreme Lord." The Blessed One then said, "Formations have ignorance for their cause. Consciousness has formations for its cause. Name and form have consciousness for their cause. The 6 cognitive fields have name and form for their cause. Contact has the 6 cognitive fields for its cause. Sensation has contact for its cause. Craving has sensation for its cause. Grasping has craving for its cause. Becoming has grasping for its cause. Birth has becoming for its cause. Old age, death, grief, lamentation, pain, despair, and turmoil have birth for their cause. In this way arises this whole great heap of suffering. In the same way, when ignorance ceases, there is the cessation of formations. When formations cease, there is the cessation of consciousness. When consciousness ceases, there is the cessation of name and form. When name and form cease, there is a cessation of the 6 cognitive fields. When the 6 cognitive fields cease, there is the cessation of contact. When contact ceases, there is a cessation of sensation. When sensation ceases, there is the cessation of craving. When craving ceases, there is the cessation of grasping. When grasping ceases, there is the cessation of becoming. When becoming ceases, there is a cessation of birth. When birth ceases, old age, death, grief, lamentation, pain, despair, and turmoil also cease. In this way, this entire great heap of suffering ceases. The world arises dependently. It ceases always dependently. When one understands these 2 modes and contemplates them as non-dual, one will become accomplished. Then the Blessed Lady said, "May the Blessed One present the analysis of ignorance," and so forth. Then the Blessed One said, "This wheel has 3 divisions, corresponding to the 3 times. The Dharma is said by the victorious ones to have 12 forms. With regard to this, ignorance is to be unaware of what to abandon and what to adopt. The meaning is that, directly after death, the insubstantial mind assumes a physical shape. From this ignorance arise formations, of which there are 3 types. 1, the formations of the body are exhalation and inhalation. 2, the formations of speech are speculative knowledge and analytical knowledge. And 3, the formations of mind are attachment, hatred, and delusion. Ignorance, combined with these formations, exhales and inhales. It wanders to and apprehends material objects, and it analyzes and apprehends that which is immaterial. It becomes infatuated, hostile, or bewildered. From these formations arises consciousness, which is 6-fold: eye consciousness, ear consciousness, nose consciousness, tongue consciousness, body consciousness, and mind consciousness. When combined with these 6, ignorance sees, hears, smells, tastes, feels, and cogitates. From this consciousness arise name and form. Name is the 4 aggregates, starting with sensation. Form is form alone. With these 2 put together and rolled into one, we have what is called name and form. The meaning is that ignorance takes on the form of the 5 aggregates that are grasped onto. Among these, sensation is 3-fold: pleasurable, painful, and neutral. Perception is the internal description of things after apprehending their particular forms. The formations are the primary and subsidiary mental states that apprehend the particular circumstances of general things. The consciousnesses have already been described. Form has the nature of 4 elements. 1, earth is characterized by heaviness and hardness. 2, water by liquidity and fluidity. 3, fire by heat and the ability to heat. And 4, wind by its changing course, diffusiveness, and its being set into motion easily. From name and form arise 6 cognitive fields: eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind fields. When combined with these 6, ignorance sees and so forth, as explained previously. From these cognitive fields arises contact, meeting with forms, sounds, smells, tastes, tactile sensations, and the sphere of mentally cognized features. From contact arises craving, which is the desire for happiness. From craving arises grasping, which is seeking out the desired object. From grasping arises becoming, which is entry into the womb. From becoming arises birth, which is one's visible emergence. This is the acquisition of the 5 perpetuating aggregates. From this birth arises old age, which is being old and worn out, and death, which is the cessation of mind and its contents. Then, reflecting on old age and death, one becomes overcome with grief. One laments, "I have not striven for liberation." Plagued by diseases, one is overcome by pain. Thinking about it again and again, one falls into depression. Even though one is already depressed, one is further assailed by misfortunes and becomes exasperated. The meaning is as follows. A being in the intermediate state after death possesses the full range of the 6 cognitive fields up to their furthest limit, which entails the fields governed by ignorance and so forth. Although remaining in just one place, that being will look at the 3 worlds and see a woman and a man making love. Driven by the karma created in his previous lives, he will perceive the couple making love in a form that corresponds to his future form of existence. Upon seeing them, the meeting occurs with great intensity. At that point, if one is going to be a man, one sees oneself in the form of a man. One feels extreme passion for one's future mother and is overcome by intense hatred for one's future father. The passion and the hatred are sensations of pleasure and pain respectively. Wondering how to have sex with the female, one is bewildered by that sensation, which is neither painful nor pleasurable. Then, out of great craving, which is impelled by the wind of one's previous karma, one decides to make love to her. Upset, one thinks, "Who is that man having sex with my woman?" Thinking this, one enters through the fontanelle of one's future father just like a falling star. Because one resides in the mind that abides in the father's semen, one perceives oneself making love to one's future mother and grasps at the pleasure. At that point, one has become essentially identical to the semen. Because of being excited with great passion, one passes through the central channel and emerges from the father's Vajra. Passing through the channel of the goddess of the Vajra realm located in the orifice of the mother's lotus, one is established in the birth channel of the womb. Subsequently, a new life begins by internalizing the secretions. In due order, the stages of conceptus, embryonic nucleus, compacted matter, lump, and fetus with limbs unfold, and eventually one is born within 9 or 10 months, emerging through the same way that one entered. Thus, a birth takes place. If, however, one is going to be a woman, one feels passion for the future father and hatred for the future mother. One then sees oneself as having a female form. Entering through the fontanelle of the future mother, one falls into the vagina, becomes fused with the semen, and remains in her birth channel. Then, in the same way as before, one emerges and is born. So, in this way, people are born into the world through ignorance and the rest. And these people are only the 5 aggregates. These 5 aggregates circle unhappily around in samsara. But those who seek liberation should not occupy themselves with this suffering. After the cessation of ignorance and the remaining links, the aggregates will also cease. This cessation, however, would be an empty state of no value to the seekers of liberation, who should not occupy themselves with useless things. For such seekers, existence is not liberation, but nor is non-existence. They should instead practice the secret union of wisdom and means that is devoid of both existence and non-existence. This union has the nature of great bliss. It is the glorious Lord Akala himself. It is the mind that has the single form of the 4 joys. It abides in neither existence nor nirvana. It is liberation. The world comes into being through passion. It meets its end when passion ends. By knowing the meaning of akala fully through passion, the accomplishment of Buddha will blossom forth. The mind that rejoices in the essence of pleasure and does not stray during union with the wisdom consort, that mind, shaking off the great demon of cessation, is referred to by the name akala. This concludes the chapter on dependent origination, 16th in the glorious Tantra of Caṇḍamahāroṣaṇa, called the Soul Hero. Chapter 17. Increasing the Semen. Then the Blessed Lady said, Lord, this sexual union can increase and vitalize the semen, menstrual blood, penis, vagina, and breasts, since it prevents the development of diseases. As there are methods for bringing the woman's mind to the state of enthrallment, and also for treating barrenness, for arresting the semen and causing the menstrual blood to flow, please explain these methods. The Blessed One then said, well done, O Goddess, that you have made this request to me. I will explain various methods, so please listen for the sake of mundane accomplishments. At the beginning, one should purify one's body, and afterward start the rites. A dye placed on a white cloth will stand out the most. One should prepare an infusion of the 3 myrobalan fruits, barley, potash, and dak. By eating it and drinking molasses, one will clear worms and indigestion completely. Mixing the sap of umbrella tree, sesame oil, the juice of buffalo spinach, and sea salt, one should drink it and rub it on, exposing the body to strong sunshine. Once the whole body is covered, all lice will die. The sap of the umbrella tree and sesame oil, one should drink them mixed with salt. If one walks in strong sunshine, salt will diminish. Some juice of buffalo spinach mixed with sea salt should be kept in the shade and consumed to remove excess bile. The sap of the umbrella tree, sesame oil, and cow's milk from the root of the udder, by drinking them one will remove fat. There is no doubt. One should drink the sap from the blossom of the white gourd melon, seasoned with salt. Coriander will destroy tiny worms. Honey removes phlegm. One should use these, one after the other, over 2 days. Later, one should start the treatment. Only this will produce the result. Doing it any other way will be fruitless, my beloved. One should powder some bark of the silk cotton tree and eat it together with the hot scum of boiled rice. One should incant it 7 times and eat it either early in the morning or at mealtime. Doing this every day for the rest of one's life will increase one's semen or blood. The mantra is Om Caṇḍamahāroṣaṇa. Prepare this divine nectar for me, Hum Pat. Fermented coconut, also freshly churned buffalo butter, the fat of a pig mixed with the scum of vasya, if one rubs them on the penis, the ears, the breasts, and the vulva, or rubs them on the whole body, the organs will surely become healthy and strong. One should cut the nail on one's index finger and smear the finger with the above substances. One should insert the finger inside the vagina until one makes it throb. This will strengthen the vagina. One should cook the resin from the bark of a pomegranate tree together with mustard oil. When this is applied to a woman's breasts, they will become healthy and strong. One should also apply a sternutatory of the infusion of mundiri. Should one smear the penis or breasts or ears with the paste prepared from white mustard, sweet flag, winter cherry, and large eggplant, these organs will become healthy and strong. Similarly, when a preparation of gaja pipali and white butterfly pea is smeared onto the penis together with freshly churned buffalo butter, the penis will become healthy and strong. When Shivala and black hellebore are smeared onto the penis with freshly churned buffalo butter, the penis will become healthy and strong. One should grind the root of winter cherry together with downy datura and mix it with freshly churned buffalo butter. One should leave the mixture for 1 day and night in a hollowed fruit of downy datura. Then, after rubbing the penis firmly with buffalo dung, one should smear and rub it with the previously described preparation for 3 days, and it will become healthy and strong. One should clarify buffalo butter in the powder of crushed fireflies and apply it to the interior of the vagina. A loose vagina will become firm. One should cook seeds of red lotus, seeds and fibers of blue lotus, cuscus grass, and nut grass in sesame oil. By rubbing this mixture on the vagina, one will remove bad smells and the defects of looseness, wrong shape, or small size. One should rinse the vagina with an infusion from the bark of the neem tree. One should also fumigate it with neem bark. The vagina will become young, fragrant, and endowed with the qualities of good fortune and so forth. One should take 5 parts of yellow orpiment, 1 part of the potash of duck, 1 part of the potash of barley, 1 part of the potash of plantain, and blend them with water. By merely smearing the paste around the vulva, the armpits or the penis, one will remove unwanted hair. Subsequently, one should leave white mustard oil mixed with the powdered tail of the halahala snake standing for 7 days. One should rub it in around the penis and so on. Hair will not grow again. If one rubs the breasts and so on with the sweat and the fat of a buffalo, pig, elephant, and crab, the breasts will become healthy and strong. One should blend the flowers of jasmine with sesame oil and rub this on the vulva. It will become refreshed. Rubbing the nipples with the mixture of freshly turned buffalo butter, sweet flag, costus, country mallow, and veronica lolea will make them healthy and strong. After rinsing them with warm water, they will resemble a swollen penis. One should drink the root of vernonia with clarified butter. Then one will become pregnant during the fertile period of the monthly cycle. One should drink the root of winter cherry with clarified butter. Then one will become pregnant. One should drink, together with honey, country mallow, Indian mallow, white sugar, and sesame. Then one will become pregnant. One should blend the root of country mallow with water and drink it. This will stop excessive flow of menstrual blood. If one smears barley flour, cow's urine, oleogum resin, and Indian licorice on the body together with clarified butter, the whole body will become healthy. After tying the root of sensitive plant to one's ear during the fertile period of one's cycle, one will become pregnant. If one eats the leaf of water spinach, one's semen will increase. It will also be increased by eating sweetened curds or by ingesting semen and menstrual blood. Likewise, one will increase semen by rolling woman's feces and urine into a pill and swallowing it. In the evening, one should consume the powder of emblic myrobalan with water, or with clarified butter or honey. Then one's vision will become youthful, and one will be intelligent. One should eat the powder of emblic myrobalan and ground sesame with clarified butter and honey. Then the effect will be the same. One should eat bastard rosewood and the root of the rice plant, together with winter cherry, sesame, and barley, having sweetened them with sugar to be of the same taste. Then one will become youthful again. One should eat powdered bark of the Arjuna tree with milk and so on. After doing this for 1 year, one's lifespan will be extended to 300 years. One should drink 1 pala of the juice of emblic myrobalan with 1 kasha of powdered borchan seed early in the morning. Having digested this mixture, one should drink milk. Within 1 month, one's lifespan will increase to 500 years. One should drink 1 kasha of powdered borchan seed with buttermilk, water, sour gruel, or milk. Then, within 6 months, one will regain one's youth. One should eat powdered black nightshade with clarified butter. Then one will obtain the form of a 16-year-old within 21 days. One should prepare 1 pala of powdered sun hemp seeds and 1 pala of red rice, using 2 cups of milk from a single-colored cow. First, one should reduce the milk to 1 cup, then add the sun hemp seeds and the rice. After cooking this mixture, one should eat it. When it has been digested, one should drink some milk. One will be free from excess wind and heat. Just as this method must be applied for 21 days, so too should the following method. Then the hair and so forth will fall out and grow again. One will be free from wrinkles and grey hair, and will live for 500 years. One should eat a cat's paw of the root of red ukata together with clarified butter and honey. The result will be exactly the same. One should prepare a pill, 1 kasha in weight, from powdered emblic myrobalan, yellow myrobalan, false daisy, long pepper, black pepper, and iron, together with honey and sugar. One should then swallow a single pill each day. Within a month, one's lifespan will increase to 300 years. One should eat 1 pala of aloe vera together with clarified butter and curds. Within 7 days, one's lifespan will increase to 300 years. One should eat a preparation of barley, sesame, winter cherry, veronica lolea, and kidney beans with twice the amount of sugar. One will become very strong. One should eat powdered stink vine with thrice the amount of yellow myrobalan, or alternatively with water or the like. One will become very strong. One should always visualize oneself in the form of the deity and empower the medicine by incanting it with the mantra. This concludes the chapter on the increasing of semen, the 17th in the glorious Caṇḍamahāroṣaṇa Tantra called the Soul Hero. Chapter 18, Preventing Disease. Then the Lord said, one should blend the root of castor oil plant with sour gruel and rub it on the head. This will cure headache. One should fill the ear with lukewarm urine of a goat, cow, or human with added salt. This will cure ear diseases. Alternatively, one should place a dried spider into sesame oil. One should make a pill from clearing nut, long pepper, emblic myrobalan, turmeric, and sweet flag, mixed with dew water. If one anoints the eyes with it, all eye diseases will be cured. Alternatively, one should anoint them with honey and long pepper. By applying earwax with honey to the eyes, one will cure night blindness. By applying an ointment of clearing nut with honey to the eyes, one will cure all eye diseases. One should blend sesame oil, salt, and the root of doob grass with sour gruel in a metal dish and recite the mantra. That will cure pain in the eyeballs. One should sniff loofah fruit and drink the root of kubeb with rice water. One should also administer a sternutatory. One's nose will stop bleeding. By chewing the root of cephalika, one will remove uvular swelling. With the root of Indian licorice, one will kill worms in one's teeth. One should cook clarified butter and milk and crab's feet. Rubbing this on one's feet will kill the worms in one's teeth. One should grind radish seeds, perfumed cherry, red sandalwood, and costus. Rubbing it in will remove itching and so forth. One should drink 1 pala of a broth from dried deer meat in goat's milk. This will cure phthisis. Eating a dish of buffalo curds and rice porridge will stop dysentery. So will eating a dish of tamarind fruit and rice porridge. One should drink 2 parts of the bark of ivory tree and 1 part of black pepper, sugar, and Indian heliotrope with buttermilk. This will cure stomach bloat. Eating emblic myrobalan, long pepper, leadwort, and fresh ginger with old sugar, clarified butter, and honey in equal parts will cure night cough and asthma. So will eating yellow myrobalan with honey. Eating porridge of barley with the leaves of kutch tree will cure diseases of the abdomen. One should drink fresh ginger and cumin seeds with curds or the scum of boiled rice, together with salt. One will cure urinary infections. One should either eat sugar with barley potash in equal parts, or drink an infusion of the root of drumstick tree. Then kidney stones will be passed. One should drink yellow myrobalan, leadwort, and fresh ginger with sour cream. This will cure diseases of the spleen. One should eat cumin seeds with sugar. This will cure fever and remove excess wind. One should drink barley potash with curds. This will cure constipation and flatulence. One should drink lukewarm milk cream, having added the 3 spices, the fruit of false black pepper, and salt. The fire will burn, and the parasites will die. Eating yellow myrobalan with sugar will cure hemorrhoids. Eating yellow myrobalan with dry ginger will cure constipation and flatulence. One should grind doob grass with turmeric and apply it. Then any boils will disappear. With this preparation, one will cure cutaneous eruptions and blisters, swellings caused by dog bites, and so on. One should grind the root of a Negro coffee with sour gruel and drink it. For the same effect, one should drink sugar and white mustard oil. This will cure asthma. Eating the bark of Arjuna tree together with clarified butter will cure heart palpitations. One should roast bell fruit and eat it with sugar. This will cure dysentery. Drinking citron juice with sugar will cure aches and pains. One should apply an erine of sugar with dry ginger. Then all the mucus will disappear. One should apply an ointment of umbrella tree with honey to the eyes. This will cure all eye diseases. One should blend together sour gruel, sesame oil, sea salt, and the root of doob grass in a metal dish, and apply this to the eyes. This will cure pain in the eyeballs. One should eat sugar with clarified butter. This will cure excess wind, bile, and phlegm, as well as leprosy and other diseases. One should eat the powder of the 3 myrobalan fruits with clarified butter and honey. This will remove all diseases. In the evening, one should ingest powdered yellow myrobalan with clarified butter and honey. This will remove excess wind and phlegm. One should dry out and pulverize the root, bark, leaf, flower, and fruit of Malabar nut, sweet flag, Indian pennywort, and long pepper, and make them into a pill with salt and honey. One should take it in the evening. This will remove excess wind and phlegm, and one's voice will become melodious. One should prepare a pill of Indian pennywort, sweet flag, dry ginger, long pepper, yellow myrobalan, Malabar nut, and katteku with honey and eat it. The result will be the same. One should eat in equal parts ajoan, dry ginger, and yellow myrobalan with salt. This will cure all indigestion. One should drink the juice of moonseed with honey to cure diseases causing excess urine within 3 months. One should drink milk and ground long pepper together with clarified butter and honey to cure fever, heart diseases, cough, and so on. One should grind the roots of sensitive plants and wild indigo with cold rice porridge and smear this on a wound. One should also eat the root of moonseed. This will heal bleeding piles. One should eat dry ginger with barley potash. This will stimulate appetite. One should drink seeds of Indian sesbania with black pepper over the period of 3 days. This will cure smallpox. One should make a crust around one's head with the 3 varieties of myrobalan, indigo plant, black earth, false daisy, the seeds of mango tree, the seeds of tamarind tree, rust of iron, and sour gruel. Then the hair should be fumigated and rubbed with bdellium. Finally, one should tie the hair and leave it for 7 days. Then one's hair will be dyed red. One should cook clarified butter of a cow with peacock's bile and the juice of false daisy, and use this as an erine. After 7 days, one's hair will become red. One should prepare an infusion of hogweed and randa in 16 parts of water, reducing it by boiling to just 1 part. Having boiled the water away, one should add powdered white Indian licorice. Then one should cook it with 1 cup of sesame oil. After applying this to the hair will become red. One should pulverize and blend together bhumi vidari, the 3 spices, and sulfur. One should place the mixture in the center of a wick. Having turned the burning wick downward, one should gradually take white mustard oil. By applying 2 drops of this erine regularly, one will remove wrinkles and grey hair. If one applies an ointment of costus together with the liquid essence of the above ingredients, it will alleviate pains. One should place in a kiln a lump consisting of 1 tolaka of quicksilver, sessile joyweed, and purslane, together with 1 masaka of freshly churned butter and ground sulfur. This lump should be sealed in a crucible together with some sand. After heating it up, the quicksilver will fuse with the other ingredients. Ingesting this will cure consumption and so on. One should obtain the first excrement of a newly born calf and prepare a pill. One should then grind the root of Indian valerian and enclose the pill in it. After eating 1 pill, one can eat poison without it taking any effect. One should grind seeds of black plum, seeds of citron, and seeds of flea tree, and then cook them in goat's milk. One should eat this preparation with ghee. It will take a fortnight before one feels hungry again. Applied with a paste of emblic myrobalan, costus, blue lotus, Indian spikenard, and country mallow, thin hair will become thick. One should heat up a dog's tooth above a smoky fire, add it to milk and clarified butter, and rub it on. Hair will grow even where it doesn't normally grow. One should dip one's penis for some time in coconut juice and then apply the powder of surasuna. This will cure diseases of the male organ. If one mixes false daisy root with one's seminal fluid and applies it to the penis during the month of Pusha, the same thing will happen. Likewise, if one mixes the creeper of white Indian oleander with the blood of a lizard and then mixes it with shamathai and false daisy and applies it to the penis, it will have the same effect. This concludes the chapter on preventing diseases, the 18th in the glorious Caṇḍamahāroṣaṇa Tantra called the Soul Hero. Chapter 19. Retention of Semen and Similar Practices. Then the Lord said, One should make a pill from the root of white butterfly pea with semen and make a tilak mark on a woman's forehead. Then she will become enthralled. One should smear one's penis with tube flower, sweet flag, and honey, and make love to a woman. One will enthrall her. One should administer to a woman costus and the root of vernonia, together with betel. Similarly, one can administer tube flower, false black pepper, sweet flag, costus, and cobra's saffron, together with betel. She will become enthralled. One should blend together donkey's semen and lotus filaments, rub this onto one's penis, and make love to a woman. Then she will become enthralled. One should obtain the tongue from a toothless calf and cow's bile, and blend it with menstrual blood. By giving a woman a tilak on the forehead, one will enthrall her. One will produce the same effect by using the root of false daisy and one's semen. One should smear the vine of white Indian oleander mixed with the blood of a wolf and a vulture. One should then fumigate an effigy of the desired woman and strike it with the vine. She will become enthralled. A woman whose head is sprinkled with a preparation from a peacock's crest, a crow's tongue, and the pollen from a garland worn by a dead person will become enthralled. The result will be the same if one makes love to her after smearing one's penis with the root of dwarf morning glory. One should obtain, when the moon is in the asterism of Pusha, the fruit of downy datura, when it is in Ashlesa, the bark, when in Hasta, the leaves, when in Kitra, the flowers, when in Mula, the root. One should take an equal portion of each and make a pill with honey. One should wrap it in cloth and dry it. One should offer it to a woman together with betel. With added shell powder, she will become enthralled. A woman, if her name is written with goat's milk using the right paw of a dog in heat, may such and such come, will arrive. One should heat up a peacock's feather in a smokeless fire together with 5 impure substances, and serve it to a woman in her food, and so on. She will become enthralled. One should dig out, when the moon is in the asterism of Pusha, the root of butterfly pea and rub it onto a cloth. One should then place lamp-black collyrium together with human fat in a human skull. By applying this oily ointment, one will enthrall a woman or a man. One should serve to a woman the root of vernonia together with the 5 impurities. This will bring her into a state of enthrallment. One should serve to a woman false black pepper, crepe jasmine, and costus, together with wine. One will remove her lack of fidelity. One should apply to the eye realgar, powder of cobra's saffron, perfumed cherry, and the pigment of bovine gallstones. The enthrallment will take place. One who wears a tilak made with musk, sensitive plant, downy datura, and vernonia will bring the 3-fold universe to a state of enthrallment. Having placed on one's penis red flowers of Indian oleander, one should recite 1,000 times the mantra, Om, O fickle-minded one, Kili, Kili, Kulu, Kulu, release your fluid, release, Svaha. To make a woman confused and enthralled, make an effigy of her. In front of it, recite the mantra, including her name, and pierce the effigy with a copper needle. First, one should do 10,000 recitations of the mantra without the name as a preliminary practice. Then, adding the name, one should recite, Hail Kandali, enthrall such and such, Svaha. That practice should number 10,000 recitations. One should then incant on the 14th day of the dark fortnight the ashes from a charnel ground with 108 recitations of this mantra, and place these ashes on the woman's head. She will become enthralled. One should take a ram's penis and fasten it to one's hips with strings from a charnel ground. Alternatively, one should fasten a lizard's tail. Then one will be able to retain one's semen. Focused one pointedly on genuine pleasure, while performing coitus with firm application, and always immobilizing one's prana mind, by so doing one will achieve the ultimate retention of semen. One should fasten to one's hips the root of white marsh barbel, or one should fasten the northern root branch of downy datura, or the root of wild indigo. Then one will be able to retain one's semen. If one eats the root of sun hemp, or the root of spiked ginger lily, or surasunaka before coitus, one will be capable of the ultimate retention of semen. Having hollowed out a seed of pongam oil tree, one should fill it completely with quicksilver. After tying it to one's hip with strings, the retention of semen will be supreme. One should light up a lamp made with pig's fat, with a wick made of the white thread of giant milkweed, dyed red with lac. This will arrest the semen. Alternatively, one should heat up safflower oil and rub it on the soles of one's feet. This will arrest the semen. By applying an ointment of the root of white panicled foldwing, the filaments of white lotus, and honey, one will arrest the semen. One should wrap up the root of dwarf morning glory in a lotus leaf and fasten it to one's hips. This will arrest the semen. One should grind yellow orpiment, collyrium made from the vitriol of copper, quicksilver, long pepper, sea salt, costus, and pigeon's droppings. After rubbing this onto one's penis in the upward direction, one will be able to arrest one's semen. One should obtain an upward-growing ox horn, grind it, and rub it onto one's penis. This will cause an erection. One should pulverize the root of kowich together with goat's urine, smear it on one's penis, and rub it in. One should give the penis an upward jolt 3 times. The penis will become erect. Rinsing with warm water will cause detumescence. One should enclose quicksilver inside a cowrie shell and place it in one's mouth. This will arrest the semen. One should steep bitter cucumber in goat's urine for 7 days. After applying this to the penis, it will become erect. One should grind the root of orshani, the root of black nightshade, and the downy datura seeds in camphor juice. After applying this to the penis, one should make love to a woman. Then she will drip. One should blend sea salt, borax, camphor, and the powder of loofah together with honey and apply it to the penis. The result will be the same. One should blend pigeon's droppings with honey, and after applying this to the penis, make love to a woman. Then she will drip. During lovemaking, one should feed the root of black nightshade with betel to a woman. Then she will drip. One should mix ripe tamarind fruit and sugarcane juice with salt, and smear this onto one's index finger. Then insert the finger into the vagina and excite the nerve of Vajradhatvisvari until the woman drips. After applying an ointment of camphor, borax, quicksilver, and gajapipali, the woman will drip. One should chew up the root of ramaduti together with the leaves, put this on the penis, and make love. Then she will drip. One should grind the root of Indian sesbania, blending it with rice water. By applying this to the vagina during coition, the woman will surely not conceive. One should grind the seeds of duck and apply the paste. Subsequently, if the woman drinks the juice of red leadwort with honey and clarified butter, she will surely not conceive. One should insert into the loose vagina the powder from locusts and moths. The vagina will then become firm. This concludes the chapter on the retention of semen and related issues, the 19th in the glorious Caṇḍamahāroṣaṇa Tantra, called The Soul Hero. Chapter 20. Mantras and Yantras. Then the goddess requested the Lord, "I would like to learn about other things which are equally interesting, O Lord, namely about the proficiency in mantra and yantra, which have been described as being of many types. Also everything about the practice of winds and the signs of death. Also about the nature of the body as an instrument. Please do me this favor right now." The Lord then said, "Well done, O goddess, well done. It is good that you have asked me about this. Accordingly, I will now deliver a complete summary of the disciplines. Om, you with a flaming mouth and fangs bared, laugh, laugh. The Vajra of the Hala Hala poison, the good Vajra, break forth, break. Disperse, disperse. Stop all the rain and wind, stop. Rent asunder, rent. Ya, ya, ya. Dry up all the water, dry. Hum Pat. While reciting this mantra, one should direct one's angry gaze into the sky. One will stop the wind and disperse the clouds. Here is the mantra of playing in the cemetery. Om, you who shout pet. Pem, pem, ha ha, ha ha, pet. Here is the mantra for entering a city area. Om, O Lord of all magical powers for nullifying opposing yantras and mantras. Frighten off all the dakinis, frighten. Bind, bind. Nail swiftly, nail. To make snakes flee, one should incant some clay with this mantra and place it on the ground. Om hili hili pu pu. With this mantra, tigers will flee. Mama, mama. With this mantra, elephants will flee. Vedu a, vedu a. With this mantra, rhinoceros will flee. Turli a, turli a. With this mantra, dogs will flee when threatened with one's left index finger. Om Hrim Protector Batuka Caṇḍamahāroṣaṇa Hom Pat. With this mantra, buffaloes will flee. Om Yamantaka Hri Stri Hom 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 Pat Pat. Frighten away, O fierce one, very fierce. Hom Pat. With this mantra, any serious diseases will go away. Om, when crushing yama, crush, crush, Caṇḍamahāroṣaṇa, Hom Pat. To make pain go away, one should administer water incanted with this mantra. Om, when there is crying or wailing, this is for removing it. Hom Pat. By tying this mantra into one's knotted hair, one will be protected. Om, when there is terror, this is for confusing. Hom Pat. To nail the mouth of the adversary, one should make an effigy from beeswax, 4 fingers in size, write this mantra on birch bark with yellow orpiment, and stuff it into the effigy's mouth. One should then nail the effigy and bury it at a crossroad. Then say, Om, whether he is moving or not, nail the mouth of such and such. Hom Pat. To stop the target from moving about, proceed as before and stick this mantra into the effigy's heart and nail its feet. Om, when destroying all the maras, nail the feet of such and such. Hom Pat. To stop a hostile army from advancing, stuff this mantra into the effigy as before. Then nail the 8 limbs of the general of the hostile army. One should bury the effigy with its face down in the middle of a hearth and say, Om, you with contorted face, when breaking the enemy's army, break, break, immobilize, immobilize, bind such and such together with his army with a noose, bind. hum pat, ka ga, ha ha, he, pem pem, om Caṇḍamahāroṣaṇa, hum pat. To cause the enemy to burn with fever, one should draw the target, 8 fingers tall, on a cloth from a cemetery, with poison and mustard, encircle the drawing with the garland mantra, and stuff it into the heart of a beeswax effigy. One should then place the effigy inside a piece of common milk hedgewood. The mantra is Om, burn, burn, cook, cook, torment, torment. Send the fever, send. Make them burn, do. Dry up, dry. Seize, seize. Burn, burn. Om Caṇḍamahāroṣaṇa, hum pat svaha. And further, Om Caṇḍamahāroṣaṇa, let the fever seize such and such, hum pat. Reciting this, one should burn the effigy in the charnel ground fire or in a fire of kutch tree or jujube wood. One will cause the enemy to burn with fever. To obliterate the yantra of an enemy, one should write this mantra on a rag from a cemetery, wrap up a blue string around it, and wear it on one's arm, neck, head, or hips. Then say, Om, conquer, conquer and vanquish, defeat the yantra. He, ha, ha, break, break, remove, remove, act quickly, act, Om Caṇḍamahāroṣaṇa, hum pat. To kill the target within a week, one should write this mantra on a rag from a cemetery as before, put it inside the effigy, and nail it with a peg on 1 finger long, made of bone or iron. One should then bury the effigy face down in a cemetery and say, Om Caṇḍamahāroṣaṇa, swallow, swallow, ka, ka, eat, eat, make such and such wither, do, mara, mara, kill such and such, kill, hum pat. To banish the target, one should take a crow's nest from a nim tree and burn the nest in a fire from the charnel ground. One should incant the nest's ashes with 108 repetitions of the above mantra and throw the ashes at the door of the target's house. One should visualize the target mounted on a camel, fettered in shackles and tied up with lassos, being led in the southern direction. Then say, Om Caṇḍamahāroṣaṇa, banish such and such, hum pat. To sow hatred among others, one should take some dust from where 2 dogs are fighting and strike the effigies of the 2 targets. Then say, Om, when causing hate, vajra of hatred, sow hatred between such and such and such and such. Om Caṇḍamahāroṣaṇa, hum pat. To immobilize the enemy with ease, one should draw on birch bark a tortoise, 6 fingers in size, with yellow orpiment, and write the syllable hri on its 4 feet, the syllable pli in the center of its face, and the syllable hri at its navel. One should then depict feces at the tortoise's anus and draw the sadaka further up on the tortoise's back. One should surround this with the garland mantra and commence worship with offerings and praise. One should place the tortoise on top of a sacrificial brick, covering the brick with the tortoise's belly. One should wrap a red string around the whole thing and throw it down by one's feet. One should kick it with one's left foot while repeating, Please bring such and such under my control 7 times. Then say, Om Caṇḍamahāroṣaṇa, hrim, hrim, hrom. In your wrathful form kill, slay, slay, strike, strike, smash, smash, ha ha, ha ha, lunge forward, lunge, disperse, disperse, nail, nail, crush, crush, immobilize such and such, immobilize, hum pat. This mantra cures the closing of the eyes, Om Kili Mili, when playing hum pat. To stop the milk from flowing in cows, one should incant a peg made of cow's bone, several fingers long, with 108 recitations of this mantra. and bury it in a cow pen. Then say, Om Hrim Hrim Hrim, parch, parch, stop the flow, stop, Om Caṇḍamahāroṣaṇa, Hom Pat. To destroy merchandise, one should incant a vajra made of clay from an anthill with 100 recitations of this mantra and bury it in a shop. Then say, Om Vajrini, let your vajra fly, so commands the Master of Gods. Set a light, set, Om Caṇḍamahāroṣaṇa, Hom Pat. To make a city shake, one should draw the Lord on birch bark. He has 2 arms, is red in color, holds in his hands a noose and a goad, is intoxicated with lust, and terrifying. One should inscribe the letters of the mantra with elephant's rut fluid, wine, lac, blood, menstrual blood, or saffron, arranged as follows. Om on the head, Hrim in the heart, Klim in the navel, and Tram on the penis. One should then surround the drawing with the garland mantra and wrap everything with a red string. One should then throw it into a hollow filled with clarified butter and honey between the skulls of a woman and a man. Then enclose the whole thing in beeswax, wrap a red string around it, and bury it at a central location. Stepping on it with one's left foot, one should recite the mantra 25,000 times. The mantra is Om Hrim Klim Tram Yom. When crushing Yama, be harsh, be, shake, shake, for the consummation of all sense pleasures. Hom, hom, pat, pat, svaha. To enthrall a woman, one should pulverize intestinal worms into a fine powder and make it into a pill by adding semen and blood from the ring finger. One should incant the pill with the mantra and put it into the target's food or drink. The mantra is Om, summon, summon, bewilder, bewilder, enthrall such and such, enthrall, svaha. 2 tremulous leaves, 2 wings of a bee, 2 human teeth, a garland from a dead man. When her limbs have been sprinkled with this powder, she runs, her body swooning with every step. To destroy any poison, say, Om, white vulture, devour the poison and the harmful anger. Ka, ka, ha, ha, sa, sa. Om, the general of the great, fierce army, commands, svaha. Alternatively, one can recite the mantra, Om Samkarini, Dram, Hram, Hum, Ham, Ha. To stop snakes from entering one's residence, place clay incanted with this mantra or a piece of paper with this mantra at the door. The mantra is Om, enemy of snakes, destroyer of Vamana, Pat. Giving a woman fragrant white flowers, incanted with this mantra, will enthrall her. Om, Ana, blind in one eye, enthrall such and such, svaha. By rinsing the eyes with water incanted with this mantra, one will cure blindness. Homage to Vitaraga, O Maitreya Simhalokani svaha. With this mantra, a safara fish will not be able to approach. Om Safara Ka, eat the powder. With this mantra, one will destroy the poison of snakes, scorpions, crabs, and the like. May the poison sink into the earth with the speed of the sun's chariot, the power of Vasudeva, and the flapping of Garuda's wings. To prevent theft, one should cast a clod of earth incanted with this mantra 7 times into the 4 directions. Om Kamunda, the unconquered, never conquered by another, protect, protect, svaha. One should then place 1 clod in one's own home and recite Om, the snapping one, the immobilizing one, the bewildering one, the one who suppresses all rogues, svaha. Giving a flower or something similar incanted with this mantra will enthrall the target. Homage to fierce great anger, kill, kill, Kulu, kulu, remain, remain, bind, bind, bewilder, bewilder, strike to kill, strike, Humpat. With this mantra written on a leaf of umbrella tree, one will destroy all fever. Homage to the three jewels, Om Ta. When one is delirious, Svaha. This concludes the chapter on various yantras and mantras used for inserting in effigies, the 20th in the glorious Caṇḍamahāroṣaṇa Tantra, called the Soul Hero.